Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jacques, do you feel like for the first 3/4 of that game, you guys were really clinical and really good at enforcing your game plan on the opposition? So you must have been really happy about the 3/4 of that game, and I'm sure other people will ask about the final quarter.
Sorry, the people will be asking about the...
No, I'm sure other people will ask you about the final quarter. So
Okay.
if you can just talk about the first 3/4 of that game.
Yeah. No, listen. Yeah, I thought we game management in the first 3/4 of the game was excellent. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. If you look at the opportunities we created in the back end of the second half, and we didn't finish. But I think one has to look at it from a perspective that this team has been playing now. If you take the SAA game and you add that up, SAA versus British and Irish Lions, then 3 British and Irish Lions test matches, then 2 test matches, tough test matches against a very well-coached, a very desperate Argentinian side. I think, and you seldomly play 6 test matches on a trot. So I think well done for the guys. We obviously, looking at the bonus point, we would have loved to get the bonus point, and we're going full out for it. But getting Jaden on the pitch again, getting him experience. Unfortunately, hopefully, he's not that bad. But I think he's going to be in trouble. Hopefully not. And getting Gaza more game time at 15. We made changes because we were in a position where we felt we could get more experience into the squad, and our strategic goals will always be to win and to defend the rugby championship. But looking in the future to 2023, you'll have to get some experience into the broader squad, and I thought we did that well. I just think at the back end of it, 6 test matches on a trot is at this level with this amount of intensity. It takes its toll. Yeah. So we had to do some squad rotations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Jacques. Leighton Koopman of Rapport.
Thank you, Rian. Hi, Jacques. Hi, Sia. Jacques, can you talk to us on just you must feel some sense of pride after 6 tests on the trot, the guys doing their absolute best under trying circumstances, and also to have a defensive record after 6 tests like this shows what you also have done in the team.
Yeah, I said now in the change room, I'm unbelievably proud of the squad and the players. Today, the people outside the squad won't know, but today was a massive test match for us. It was. I won't say it's probably bigger than a World Cup final, or it's bigger than the Rugby Championship in Salta, or bigger than playing or the last test match against the British and Irish Lions. But I'm telling you, it's not far off the pressure that we put on ourselves as a squad. So I was very nervous of this test match personally, and I thought the players were unbelievable in terms of how they stood up. They were challenged. Yeah, they were challenged massively during the week by themselves and what they wanted to deliver. So I'm very proud of them. In terms of the defensive record, I will stand by my point till death do me part, is that the players deserve the credit. You know, they're the guys that sacrifice their bodies, that dislocate their shoulders, break their legs, for their country. So as coaches, we always I don't think you can take the credit for that. It's at the end of the day, it's them sacrificing themselves for their country and for the team. So yeah, I'm just delighted to work with people like that.
Thank you, Jacques and Leighton. Brendan, Nell, over to you.
Good evening, guys. A question for both of you. First of all, Jacques, as a defensive coach, an ex-defensive coach, and somebody who prides himself on the defense, you've just spoken on that. How, I suppose, was it a disappointment to concede that last try at the end there and miss out on the bonus point as well? And then to see in that first half, the Argentinians' tactics was extremely negative. Just wondering how you felt on the field there, and the fact that the ref, it took 9 penalties to get the first yellow card. It seemed like the ref took an ages to sort out the negativity.
Okay, like on the defensive side of things, not at all disappointed about the try we conceded. We were going for a bonus point full on, and we were even asking them to go for big reads and take chances. I mean, to concede the try at the end. That's one thing I learned probably in my as I wouldn't have been like that, Brendan, probably 10 years ago, where I would have been disappointed with conceding a try. But it's not about the defense being good. It's about the box playing well. And we were going full blast for that fourth try, third try to get a bonus point. So if we concede a try because we go full out for that, I mean, it was absolutely worth it. And we were in a fortunate position where we could go for that. So not at all disappointed with that. Then
yeah. So I thought that I mean, I can only talk from our side. We came. Everyone knows our game plan. We wanted to maul as much as we could, and I thought from their side, they tried to stop it as well as they could, and the ref did make the calls and they gave us penalties. So I can't fault the ref at all today. I thought he was amazing, yeah. And I know it took long for the yellow card to come, but it did come at the end of the day, and he did explain to me that it's been a long time since we've been in the 10-2. I think it was after 10 minutes. So, but yeah, it did come. But I thought they stopped us well at times, and I think there's a couple of stuff we could have done better as a pack to set better and get that opportunity. But yeah, we're happy with the ones that went well, but we'll fix the ones that we made mistakes in.
Thank you. Manuel, you up next.
Hi, Sia and Jacques. I'm Manuel Bonet from ESPN Argentina. Congratulations for the win. Sia, what do you think about the decision that the All Blacks took about the Rugby Championship? And do you have any news about the continuity of the tournament?
I don't know what decision, to be honest. Like Jacques said, this game has been so important to us, and that's all been our focus. And we just focus on the game. We'll probably find out later in the week from the coaches. We don't know. Coach Rassi manages that side of stuff. Our focus has been on the game. And yeah, we'll hear afterwards, but other than that, I know nothing about it.
Thank you, Sia. Nathan?
Evening, Ray. Evening, gentlemen. Well done with the victory. I would like to ask Sia a close-up question later, and 2 questions for Jacques now, if that's okay, Ray.
Go ahead, very briefly. Thank you.
Jacques, as mentioned previously, there's so much uncertainty still around where the rest of the fixtures will be. If you were given the option of hosting all 4 fixtures with Australia and New Zealand, where would your ideal venue be?
In South Africa?
Yes.
No, we would love to host. Obviously, we would love to host the Rugby Championship. I think it would be good for our country. We just came through a British Lions series. So South Africa showed that, listen, in a pandemic they can host a tournament probably that's after a World Cup, the next biggest thing that you can have in the southern hemisphere. So I think South Africa is ready. We've got the protocols and stuff in place. We've got everything lined up. So we're ready to host it. So it would be nice, and probably It doesn't matter. I would prefer us playing in Johannesburg or in the Highveld. Obviously, it would be nice to play at altitude for us. We trained there because we was going to play the British and Irish Lions there for 2 test matches. So we trained at I don't know how many meters above sea level. So it would be nice for us to play there. But listen, wherever it's the safest and where we can get continuity in the tournament and where the tournament directors decide we have to play, we will play. We will play anywhere.
Okay, and then last week question. We saw a few guys who came off bruised, others often on a stretcher. Any immediate injury updates, especially with Jaden?
Jaden, yes, I spoke briefly with the doctor because obviously with the COVID regulations, when I spoke to the doc on Monday, it takes about a month to get a player. If we have to travel abroad, and on Monday we were still going to Perth, so to travel abroad and get a player into the squad will take 3 weeks. If you work it back from game day, so let's say you play that Saturday, you would love that player to train with the team for a week, so that's 1 week gone. Then if you go to Australia, you have to do 2 weeks in quarantine, that's 3 weeks. And then before he can get on a flight, flying to Australia, he has to go through a rigid protocol in getting multiple blood tests and antigen tests and PCR tests done to actually just get him on a flight. So to get a player to play a game in Australia will probably take you a month. For us now, that's why we have to go with a minimum of 4 scrum halves, because if somebody gets injured or 2 guys get injured, you will not get him in there ready to play before the tournament's done. So that's why it's going to be a big thing for us in terms of the severity of Jaden's injury. He went for scans and for x-rays now. Hopefully it's not too bad. But Jaden is a tough character, and he couldn't wait bare on his legs. So I think there might be it might be more than just a ligament, might be bony.
Thank you, Jacques. Right, we're going to move on swiftly. Percy, I assume you want a very brief summary in Afrikaans.
Thank you so much, Rehan. Congratulations, coach and captain. Rehan, I was going to wait until the end, but I'll rather ask my Afrikaans now. Jacques, kan jy net vinnig jou indrukke oor vanaand se wedstryd, meneer, hoe som jy vandag vir vanaand se vertoning op? En Jacques, as ek mag vra, ek weet of Rem my weer geleentheid sal gee nie. Wat is die status nou vorentoe? Julle vlug natuurlik op hul op die oomblik. Wat gebeur nou vorentoe vir julle? Bly julle saam as groep of gaan julle nou uitmekaar gaan?
Percy, eerste op die wedstryd. Ja, vir ons het 100% gegaan vir 'n bonuspunt aan die einde van die wedstryd en soos ek gesê het voorheen, ons is so half strategies. Ons wil die rugby kampioenskappe verdedig en ons het voluit gegaan vir 'n bonuspunt vanaand en daar was baie dinge wat ons verkeerd gedoen het van ons kant, tegniese goedjies wat ons moet verbeter as ons die rugby kampioenskappe wil verdedig. Maar aan die ander kant is dit ook, as 'n ou dink na 2023, is dit belangrik vir ons om ondervinding in ons groter groep te kry. En dis hoekom ons besluit het om veranderinge te maak en Jaden op te sit vroeg, om Damian Willemse op te sit vroeg, om Kwagga op te sit vroeg. Want hulle kort wedstryde en hulle kort wedstryd fiksheid, jy weet, om Thomas de Tooy 'n kans te gee, om Nicolas Jansen van Rensburg 'n kans te gee, want 'n ou moet bietjie ondervinding in hulle kweek. So dit was altyd strategies, wil wen, altyd wen, wil die rugby kampioenskappe behou, maar die ander groot strategiese doelwit van ons is om ondervinding in ons groep te kry. Want ons glo dit gaan 'n groep wees wat ons gaan vorentoe vat in 2023 in. En dan in terme van wat gebeur vorentoe, ek dink Sia het voorheen genoem, Weet jy, dit is 100% rassiese afdeling. Dit is die lekker van hoe ons werk. Jy weet, ek is 100% gefokus op wat op die veld gebeur. My aandag gaan net daaraan. Ek luister nie eers, ek lees nie 'n e-mail oor wat gaan gebeur en waar gaan dit moontlik heen gaan nie. Of dit in Frankryk is en of dit in die UK is, of dit in Brisbane is, of dit in Suid-Afrika is. My groot fokus as hoofafrigter en ons as spelers is net op vanaand se wedstryd. Dit is 'n massiewe wedstryd vir ons daar. Ons het self intern baie druk op ons gesit in hierdie wedstryd. So ja, ek het geen idee wat is die pad vorentoe. Ek gaan dit teen en later hoor. En ek verkies dit so. Die belangrikste ding vanaand was om voor te berei vir hierdie wedstryd.
Thank you, Jacques. We'll allow one more question in Afrikaans, and then we'll give Ganyiso and Nathan also opportunity to ask a question, most probably to Sia. So, Brendanel, you can go ahead. Gaan voort.
Nou, Jacques, sorry, weer eens hierdie eens in Afrikaans, man. Ek wil net hoor, ek weet julle weet nie wat die pad vorentoe is nie, maar in terme van julle spelers wat julle die 42 wat jy gepraat het hierdie week, is daar enige iemand wat in die laaste 6 wedstryde was wat totaal uitgeskakel is? En obviously as hulle nie is, dan is ouens soos Faf en Dwayne en daai, verwag jy hulle wanneer julle ook al hoor waar julle gaan en waar julle gaan wees, is hulle beskikbaar?
Ja, Brendan, weet jy wat, ons was in 2 posisies baie dun tot vandag. Dit was flanke. Ek het gesê hulle is meer as goud werd, want ek dink ons het 'n totaal van 8 flanke in ons groep en 4 van hulle was beseer gewees. Maar hulle is almal binne die volgende week, ek dink as ons volgende week 'n toets sou gespeel het, dan sou 3 van die 4 reg gewees het, jy weet, en dit is hoekom 'n ou so Sia hoed af vir hom, hy moes vasbyt, jy weet, en dit was nie die ideaal nie, ons sou graag wou 'n bietjie rotasie toepas, selfs op Sia, maar ongelukkig was dinge net nie so uitgeloop vir ons. Ons het net 'n klomp beserings gehad op losvoorspeler en die ander posisie was skramskakel. Jy weet, ons het 4 skramskakels hier gehad. Ons het letterlik net 2 staande gehad in die opbou van hierdie week. Maar Faf het goed gehardloop vandag. En ons sal nou sien met Jaden. So as Jaden se besering erg is, dan sal ons iemand moet inkry en sal met die keerkomitee sit en kyk wie is die volgende man wat ons gaan intrek. Maar ja, nee, weet jy, as ek praat van Dwayne, hy het saam geoefen die laaste 3 weke. Hy het voluit saam geoefen teen ons hierdie week. En dit was moeilik vir ons van die boksspan af om ons goedjies aan die gang te kry met hom, want uit die aard van die saak, hy het nie baie kontrak gehad nie, so hy is nogal lus om mense om bietjie kontak te vat. En dan JL Depree het herstel van sy medial collaterale ligament. Ons het so, ja, wie is die ander iets, Perd, Reinhard Alstedt, ja. Reinhard Alstedt is almost ready to go again. So ja, ons is gelukkig daar met ons losspelers wat terugkom in die mix.
Thank you, Jacques. Right, over to Ganyiso. Good evening.
Good evening, thanks Ryan. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Jacques. Good evening, Sia. Just a quick one for Jacques in English. With all this uncertainty, Jacques, what do your preparations look like for the next week to 2 weeks or so? And for Usia, kuskhape man uceba kunjani udlala imidlalo esithandathu ilandelelana, then umbuzo wesibini kuzoba njani ukuphumza ingqondo njengoba ke kungabi khona ecacileyo ngendaba yokudlala kweNew Zealand noAustralia.
Okay, no putting ndiyavuya kakhulu di kwazi udlala le midlalo ndidlale emininzi ndiyavuya because asinto ndiqhelileyo le and bekunyanzelekile nyamezele ngoku ezitshile umqeqeshi wethu sine-injury ezininzi kule position yam but ndiyavuya kakhulu and nomsebenzi endiwenzileyo before sifike apha ngoba ndiseThekwini bendifuna make sure uba ngoku ndiyawunyusa umgangatho endidlala kuwo and ndikwazi udlala imatch yonke ndingakhutshwa. And ngoku kule fix siyazi kwenzeka ntoni, so thina salandela i-process zethu ngomso i-recovery ngomvulo sabukela imatch sijonge uba senze amaphutha phi singalungisa phi and then sive ke ngoku phakathi evekini ukuthi uba ithini into uba siyaphi. But okwangoku sawupholisa intloko siyazi adlale next week and then sibone uba sawuthini siyi-team.
Yeah, from my side, I think the one thing that we've probably learned through COVID is that things change rapidly. So in terms of what is our plans going forward, we probably have 4 plans loaded for different scenarios. So if we stay in South Africa and we hear that quite early, then there's one plan loaded for that. If we have to travel I think we're going to stay at Tuesday, Wednesday in Kobega. Then there will be we're going to stay here. And then if we have to go to Brisbane, then it will be a different plan. If we go to France, it will be a different plan. If we go to the UK, different plan. If we might have to go to America, it will be a different plan. So wherever they send us, we will just adapt the plan to that. And that's probably what COVID taught us. You have to be adaptable with things changing very, very rapidly. So I know I'm not probably answering your question, but honestly, I don't know. We've got 6 options loaded and ready to go. So whichever one they give to us, we will operate and work from then on.
Thank you, Jacques. Thank you. Right. Thank you, Kaniso. Nathan, back to you briefly.
Clear nguGogs ukhoshwa ngathele nje qabhalala umdlalo wonke. Xa ucinga nihambe njani namhlanje? Izintoni izinto zihambe kahle nezinye ezihambe wrong?
Ubulele bhuti. I think yeah sisebenzile bhuti sibenzile umsebenzi ofuneka sibenzile. I think all are not bethu bezininzi beninzi amathuba besiwafumene pha iwesi ngokuseza kuphela umdlalo besifuna ufumana i-bonus point but simosheka ngokwethu and yeah but andikwazi ucinga ngoku nje uba zeziphi ezinye iindaba zayijonga after game but into endiyaziyo besiyilambele le try and besifuna uskora phaa but into endiyithandileyo eli hlobo simane njengalo lo mdlalo because besiyazi bazoza ngamandla besiyazi bazoza nepassion because bakhubekile last week and siyabazi banjani bayafana nathi ngeendlela ezininzi yabo. So thina le nto besifuna uyenza siyenze kakuhle simbambe ngokwethu umdlalo ipace siyayicontrola ngokwethu but ekugqibeleni abayekeleli baza ngamandla. So sidisappointed singasikolanga naxa yokugqibela but badlale kakhulu.
Nkosi.